Can you tell me what is the art that is considered to be the most important in the world? You can use it to impress anyone. You can attract them to you. And you can make anyone crazy about you. It is the art of dealing with people. Means how to deal with people. After 15 years of continuous research to become an expert in this art, Dale Carnegie has written the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. It has become the bestseller book in the world. Don't make the mistake of taking this book lightly. This book can change anyone's life and it can increase your value. You will become an expert in making friends and influencing them. You will learn the fundamental techniques to handle people. People will start liking you. They will start listening to you. And they will start valuing you. Along with this, you will learn from this book how to make people work, how to become a hero and change people without creating hatred in people, and make them friends quickly. By knowing the points given in this book and by following them, you can make anyone crazy about you in a snap. So watch all these points carefully till the end and don't miss a single point. So let's start. Point number 1. Praise with honesty and truth. Every year, Andrew Carnegie gave $1 million to his manager Charles Schwab as a salary. Why? Because Schwab was a genius. No, because he knew more about the construction of steel than anyone else. Not at all. Charles Schwab himself said that the people working under him knew much more about steel than him. So what was the reason for Charles Schwab getting so much salary? The answer is his ability to behave properly with people. He was asked how he behaved with people. I am telling you the secret he told in his own words. The words that should be carved on a copper plate and hang in every house, school, shop and office. The words that everyone should remember. The words that you and we can change our lives by adopting. These were his words. I have the ability to inspire and motivate my people. I can motivate them. My biggest talent is that I help people to become their best with praise and encouragement. The criticism made by senior people kills any person's ambitions. I don't criticize anyone. I inspire people to work. I inspire them to be passionate. I stay away from excitement and blame for praise. If I like something, I appreciate it with all my heart, and this is the secret of my success. The above 2 to 3 sentences are very important. If you don't understand it once, go back and listen to it again. This is what Charles Schwab used to do. But what to do ordinary people do? On the contrary, if they don't like something, they blame their juniors. But if they like something, they stay quiet. This reminds me of an old saying, I made a mistake once and had to hear it again and again. I did the right thing twice, but I never heard about it. Now I am telling you a shocking fact. Listen carefully. A few years ago, when a study was done on wives who run away from home, what would be the most important reason for them to run away according to you? Was the reason the lack of money, the lack of faith? No, it was a lack of praise. And I believe that even if there is a study on husband who run away from home, this will be the conclusion. We consider our life partner to be so ordinary that we never openly and truly praise them. They never get a good change by hurting people. Ralph Waldo Emerson, the most well-known person in America, said, "The person I meet is better than me in some way." When he was right about Emerson, wouldn't be he 1,000 times right about you and me? Stop thinking about your success and goodness. Let's find out what is a good about other people. Praise them with honesty. Open your heart and praise them. Praise them generously, and people will keep your words in their hearts, and you will remember them for the rest of your life. Even if you forget them yourself, So the first point you have to remember is praise them with honesty and truth. Point number 2, keep true interest in people. New York Telephone Company has done extensive research on a phone conversation to find out which word is used the most. You guess right. The answer is me, me, me. This word has been used 3,900 times in 500 phone conversations. Now, I have a small question for you. In a group photograph which includes you, whose photo do you look at first? I know what you are going to answer. The answer is mine. You must know people who spend their whole life trying to attract others' attention or trying to arouse others' interest in them. But this doesn't work. Why? Because they are not interested in you. They are not interested in me either. They are interested in themselves. Morning, afternoon, and night. So, what do we have to do? The answer is keep true interest in people. If we want to make friends, whenever we meet you, we should express our enthusiasm and love. While talking to someone on the phone, we should use the same psychology. We should say hello to lovingly so that the person on the phone feels happy to talk to you. The person on the phone will feel how much you value them. Next time, while answering the phone, remember this. By showing a true interest in others, you not only make friends, but you also gain loyalty to your company's customers. Remember, you can't make as many as friends by trying to arouse people's interest in you in 2 years as you can by showing true interest in others. Let me repeat it again. You can't make as many friends by trying to arouse people's interest in you in 2 years as you can by showing true interest in others. This is very important sentence. If you don't understand even after listening twice, go back and listen again. So the second point we have to remember is keep true interest in others. Point number 3. Whenever we meet someone, we meet them with pride. There was a lady in New York dinner party who had inherited a lot of wealth. She was eager to impress everyone. She had spent a lot of money on diamonds, pearls, and jewelry. But she hadn't done anything for her face. Didn't she put on makeup for her face? She did. So what was missing on her face? Only smile was missing. Her face was full of bitterness and pride. She didn't even know that the feeling on her face was more important than her clothes. Once upon a time, an American veterinarian, Dr. Stephen, had a waiting room full of people who came to get their pets vaccinated. No one's talking to anyone. Everyone's face was full of sadness. And everyone was thinking about what they would have done if they didn't have to waste their time here. About 6 or 7 people were waiting. Then a young woman brought a 9-month-old baby and a cat. She sat next to a man who looked very tired while waiting. Then that man looked at her face with a deep smile, just like a child smile. What did that man do? The same thing that you or I would do. He smiled back. He started talking about his grandchildren, and the whole waiting room joined the conversation. The tension and boredom of the room turned into a fun experiences. Why did this happen? Just because of smile, not a fake smile. I am talking about the real smile that comes from the heart. The people of ancient China were intelligent in the world. They had saying that we should write and stick it on our heads. That say is that a person who doesn't have a smile shouldn't open a shop. Your smile brings the message of your good heart. Your smile brings a light to the lives of those who see it. The person who has seen thousands of faces for him. Your smile is like the sun in the cloud. It makes the buyer rich and doesn't make the giver poor. It happens in moment and its memories sometimes last a lifetime. No one is so rich that their work goes on without it. And no one is so poor that they don't become rich because of its benefit. It brings happiness to the house. It brings goodwill to the business. It is a comfort for the tired. It is a light for the enthusiastic. It is the sun's ray for the sad. And it is the biggest medicine of nature in danger. It cannot be brought, nor can it be asked for, nor can it be lent. It cannot be stolen and is of no use unless it is given to someone. Yes, a smile. So point number 3, remember that whenever you meet someone, meet them with smile. Point number 4, understand the likes of others. The writer says, I used to go fishing during the summers. I personally like to eat strawberries and cream. But I have seen that fishes like insects more. So when I went fishing, I didn't think about what they like. I didn't put strawberry and cream on the hook, but instead I put an insect or a frog in front of the fish. The point is, why shouldn't we use the same common sense when making friends? Why should we talk about our likes? It is childishness. It is a foolishness. You are interested in what you want, but no one else is interested in it. We are all just like you. We are interested in what we want. So there is only one way, that is to talk about their likes or desires and show them the way to get it. For example, one day, Ralph Waldo Emerson and his son were trying to lead a calf into the pasture, but made the mistake of only thinking about their own approach. Emerson pushed and his son pulled, but the calf wouldn't budge. The calf was simply doing what it wanted, so it dug in its heel and refused to move. Just then, an Irish maid saw this situation. Though she wasn't a writer of essay or books, she had a more understanding of horse and cows in this case. She understood what the calf wanted. So she put her finger in the calf's mouth and let it suck on it. Then she slowly began walking towards the pasture, and the calf followed her all the way there. So what is the lesson for us? Whenever you meet someone, always talk according to the interest of other person. Remember, first understand the likes of the other person. What he can do, the whole world goes with him, and what he can't do, he is left alone. So the fourth point that you have to remember is to understand the choice of the other people. Point number 5, remember person's names and call him by his name. Can you tell me what is the most melodious voice in the world? Think hard, I am giving you 5 seconds. Think. What is the most melodious voice? His own name. Yes, his own name. There was a boy named Jim who hadn't even completed high school. He had never seen the inside of a high school classroom. As he grew up, he became capable that before turning 46. 4 colleges awarded him an honorary degree, and he went on become a chairman of the Democratic National Committee and the Postmaster General of the United States. Once the author Dale Carnegie interviewed Jim and asked him about the secret of his success. Jim then asked Carnegie what he thought the reason for his success was. The author replied, I think you have a magical skill for remembering people's names. You can call 10,000 people by their names. Jim Farley responded, no, you are mistaken. I can call 500 people by their names. Make no mistake about that. It was this ability that helped Mr. Farley support Franklin D. Roosevelt in reaching the White House when he was campaigning for him in 1932. Early in life, Jim Farley understood that an ordinary person is more interested in their own name than in all the names in the world. By remembering someone's name and addressing them by it, you can show them respect and make a unique place in their heart. Remember, for anyone, their own name is the sweetest and the most melodious sound in any language. So point number 5 we should remember is to remember people's names and addresses them by their name. Point number 6. What can you do to make people like you? Once the author was standing in a line at the New York post office to register a letter. He noticed that the clerks seemed bored with his work, measuring envelopes, issuing stamps, giving change, providing receipts. The same routine he had been doing for years. So the author thought he would doing something to make the clerk like him. It was clear that to make the clerk like him, he had to say something nice about the clerk, not himself. So he asked himself, what is there about this person that I can genuinely compliment? Often this question is difficult to answer, especially with strangers, but in this case, it was easy. The author saw something he could genuinely praise. So, while the clerk was weighing the envelope, the author enthusiastically said, I wish I had hair like yours. The clerk looked up, his eyes filled with surprise and a smile on his lips. It's not what it used to be, he replied modestly. The author assured him that even if it wasn't like before, it still looked great. This made the clerk quite happy and they chatted for a while. Finally, the clerk said, a lot of people have complimented my hair. The truth is, everyone you meet thinks they are superior to you in some way. And the way to win their heart is to make them feel valuable in subtle, genuine way. And Emerson said, every man I meet is my superior in some way, and in that I learn from him. So the answer to point number 6, what can you do to make people like you, is to make the other person feel important and to do so sincerely. Point number 7, praise in public and point out mistake in private. Once a vice president was asking a production supervisor some pointed questions. His tone was aggressive and his goal was to highlight the supervisor's mistake. To avoid public humiliation in front of his colleague, the supervisor defended himself, which caused the vice president to lose his temper. He scolded the supervisor in front of everyone, accused him of lying, and shattered his self-respect. Whatever relationship they had previously ended in just a few moments. This supervisor, who once worked well, became unproductive for our company from that point on. A few months later, he left our firm and began working for a competitor, where he did well. If we are right and the other person is wrong, then by humiliating them, we hurt their pride. A famous French writer, Antoine Exupéry, has written, I have no right to say or do anything that would make a person fall in my eyes. To violate a man's dignity is a crime. Always remember to appreciate even the smallest progress and praise every excellent job. Praise in front of everyone and tell the mistake alone. So point number 7 we should remember is to praise in public and point out mistake in private. Friend, this book is so valuable that reading it just once won't be enough. It should be read multiple times so that its content reach the depth of our heart and minds. If you found this video helpful, please like, share and don't forget to subscribe our channel. Share this video with your friends because they might also need to understand this truth. Until next time, stay motivated and keep pushing your limits.
Thanks for watching.